R.I.P.
Baby, you got it.
R.I.P. Aretha.
What you need,
I didn't expect
you
that.
know I got it.
That caught me off guard.
All I'm asking is for a little spectrum this, just a little bit. Hey,
Just a little bit.
hey, yeah, nah, it's only right. It's only right.
Aretha died. Yo, who's next? Who's next? Like, who's next? Like, for real, Diana Ross? Like,
Just a little bit.
well, yeah, there's
Wow.
like a lot of people dying.
Wow. Salutations, man. Welcome back to another episode of Opinions and Consequences, episode 11, people.
Welcome, welcome.
Welcome back, baby. I'm your host, AJ McLaughlin.
Clay Martinez.
Listen, I guess we got to get it off the table, you know what I mean? R.I.P. Aretha Franklin passed away today, right?
Yeah, last night, today, something.
Last night, today, yeah.
Last
Wow.
night.
Crazy.
She was sick too. Like they said she was sick. They said she was fine. Then all of a sudden they said she was gone this morning. I was like, good lord. Like,
Yeah, she had pancreatic cancer.
yeah.
A lot of
Which
complications.
means she's
and
been
all
having that
stuff.
for a while. So that's
Yeah.
been going on for a while.
Yeah.
So it's sad.
Oh my gosh, man. You
It's
know,
sad to see. R.I.P. Definitely Aretha.
This before we even start, man, I gotta, we gotta give one salute out to her, for all the great music she's produced. Great music.
R.I.P.
Phenomenal.
The last 2 years have been really a lot of deaths, man. A lot of deaths of some iconic people.
Iconic people, yeah. But
It's been a little much.
I guess the last biggest one was Prince, right?
Yeah, Prince.
Prince, yeah.
And for black people, yes, Prince.
Yeah.
The last one was Robin Williams, white people.
Oh yeah. To you, Aretha.
She's gonna go down as top 3, right? Women.
Bro, she definitely. I hope she got a star. She better have.
No, I think she does.
She has to.
I think she does. She has to. At that point, yeah,
Bro.
she's been around.
She's been around. She's seen a lot.
She was one of the first. You know what's funny? I was watching a documentary. It's called The Playboy. It's about Hugh Hefner.
Oh, okay,
That's
the
you know what?
documentary.
That's no. I swear to God,
Okay.
it's on Amazon
He
Prime.
was
Listen,
watching the documentary.
check it out. No, dead serious. I'm dead serious. Listen, when Hugh Hefner dies, people are gonna be sad.
Oh yeah.
But he was the first to ever allow black acts to act in his club during the civil rights movement. And Aretha was the first.
Wow.
Funny how that came out. Hugh Hefner was the first to allow black acts.
But did you watch that after you watched Bunny's Attack?
There's no such. I don't even think Playboy exists like that anymore. Does it?
Well, I'm pretty sure they have an episode when Bunny's Attack.
I mean, the documentary is based on Hugh Hefner's life. It's literally like a documentary, but it's also acted out at the same time. So he's talking, and then they'll act it out, you know what I'm saying? So, and then they'll have other people talk, and then they'll act out what happened. And no lie, it's on Amazon Prime. Yo, it's probably one of the dopest docu-series I've watched in a long time. Because you learn a lot about, why Playboy was so big, how they got there. You know what I'm saying? It's a dope documentary. How he put Malcolm X in his magazine, talking to just white people crazy. Basically, bringing war. He was on, Hugh Hefner believed in the, he wasn't Hugh Hefner. He wasn't always that suave with the red. It wasn't him. He had to learn that from another guy, Victor Owens, and he learned from him, and then he opened clubs with the guy who actually opened Morton's. Yeah, it was it's some crazy backstory. The guy who owns the Morton Steakhouses, he became a partner, and he ran the clubs for Hugh Hefner, which started in Chicago, New York, because the first Playboy mansion was in Chicago, and then they moved to New York, and then they went to London, and then they moved to California. And it basically shows you Hugh Hefner, he was a drug addict. He obviously couldn't be faithful. He basically wanted every man to live that bachelor life. It's some really dope stuff. He had Nat King Cole on the cover, and that was a problem. The dude was just way ahead of his time. It started as just a magazine. Then he made the club where you had to have a special key where you had to pay $100 for it, which back then was you know what I'm saying?
bread.
That's $10,000. It equaled out. And it even showed him putting money into the bachelor pad in Chicago. He was the first person to have an indoor pool
That's dope.
Yeah, like it's just like, listen, if you get time, you should watch
I feel like
that.
a lot of people have a lot of backstories, especially coming back from that era.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Especially like even with Walt Disney.
Yep.
You know, supporting the Nazis during
Yeah.
World War II. All this propaganda. A lot of people
Don't know
about that, but hey, let's go to Disney World this year. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where a lot of times people, I don't know, man. It's just it's weird. It's weird, but a lot of people, I feel like they don't really read in between the lines, or they don't care to read in between the lines.
Yeah, there's a deep dive in every individual.
That's what I feel like. You know what I mean?
I didn't know that. Like, I really thought Hugh Hefner was just Playboy. Like, that was it. Like, I thought that was it. And then they literally show you, like, his secretary committed suicide. Like, it was just crazy. They tried to set up his secretary. Like, they went after him in courts. Like, I was like, damn. Like, with all Penthouse and all the magazine. You're just kind of like, yo, all this happened in the 60s and 70s? Like, and he even went bankrupt, like, twice. It was just like, you're like, holy shit, how'd you make money? Like, he's taking on too much. But I think you're right. Like, Walt Disney is an interesting character that I think if they told more people the backstory, I don't know if they would support him as much.
And that's what it is. You know what I mean? It's kind of like it. And I'm granted, you know, rest in peace, Walt Disney. But at the same time, you know, if he was alive, he would have gotten
Crucified.
So much scrutiny.
And this time,
now,
in this time, yeah,
he would have got he would have got crucified.
He would have got crucified because they wouldn't. We don't allow people to change. No. Even if he did change, even if he did change, no, not in this era. What they say, it's like the Bible says, God is made in, or man is made in God's image. We don't allow that shit because we don't forgive. If people don't believe we don't forgive, look at the things that have been happening over the last couple months. Like, people don't forgive for nothing.
No.
So I don't believe in that forgiveness shit.
I feel like they forgive but never forget.
I don't even know if they forgive, or I know they don't. Well, first off, we know they don't forget. They don't forget.
They never forget.
Because now it's the social media era. So back then you can kind of get away with it. But now, I don't even think people forgive. I think it's harder to forgive.
I feel like that's been always the case with every generation. I feel like a lot of people, what they do is wait for you to fuck up. So
well, you're gonna fuck up.
See, I told you he or she is a bad person. Yeah. Because you know what, they look and they're like, oh wow, this person's doing great. No, there's something wrong with this person. They always are looking for that downfall. What
did Jay-Z say? Build me up to break me down to build me up again. They wait for you. They'll build you. Like the Kevin Hart shit is a prime example. Look at that. Like, we built Kevin Hart up, and then he kind of this whole staying faithful, this and that, and then as soon as this shit happened, oh, this guy they crucified him. They was like, oh, now he's trying to build back up again. So it's like they're not gonna forget that. You know, he's gonna look like a hypocrite no matter what.
No matter however you slice the cake.
No matter how he sliced the cake. But it's also on him, too, because he got to put himself in that position.
He did.
There's a lot of stars that don't do that, or actors and actresses that don't do that. So it's like, I think you have to know now, in today's day and age, that it's not the same.
It's not the same.
It's completely different.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be careful. Everything you say will be used against you in the court of people's law. Yeah. And nobody cares about the truth, but the lie is better. The lie got to be better.
In the social media law, that's what you got to say.
Yeah, because a majority of it, I was having a conversation with somebody and I was like, dude, do you even watch the news? It's like, nah, I look at my phone.
That's it.
Damn. We're in that type of where you just pick up your phone. You don't even look at the news. So is the news necessary? Yeah.
But then again.
So you wouldn't know if 4 laws got passed because social media sometimes doesn't report that.
No. They only highlight.
They'll highlight certain things.
They only highlight the super great things and the super bad things.
Yeah. It's no in between.
There has to be either it's
attention grabber,
really fucked up, or is this just like, oh wow, this is really great.
It's the attention grabber,
and that's what it is.
I think it's
because nobody wants to see mediocre stuff. No one wants to see, oh wow, he found the kitten.
But also, people don't read. People
don't read no more.
People don't read. Like, you'll read the headline. You might read a little passage, but you don't read the whole story.
Nah.
So then how would you know what the hell happened if you only read a piece of it? You didn't read the whole thing, because they could be saying someone's innocent in a whole passage, but you only read such and such is found, is what's it called, is being accused of such and such. And that's the only part you'll see of rape. And that's the only part you'll see.
Because they only read the headline.
And the headline is the grabber. And the headline is grabbing, that doesn't get the clicks, but I mean, like, even with all the rape stuff, a lot of dudes got found acquitted for it, and nobody
Nobody cares.
ever said anything about it.
Afterwards, no one cares.
No.
Afterwards, no one cares. No one cares at all.
Do you think people forgive more nowadays, or don't?
No, I feel like people are waiting to crucify people, and when they get a chance, they want to take that chance to crucify them. But when they get found innocent or whatever the case is, they're like,
Crickets.
oh well,
Crickets.
Well,
Crickets.
I guess yeah, exactly. That's what it is. You know what I mean?
It's all crickets. Interesting.
It is interesting, man.
We live in a weird time, man.
What you got this week, man?
Well, I got a couple of things. What's been going on this week? You know what? A lot has happened. Oh, Rosa got called a dog. Let's get the politics out the way. You didn't see that? This one caught me kind of off guard. My question is this: do we forgive Omarosa now? Omarosa went with Trump from the beginning. She was, oh no, he was this, he was that. That was the most interesting thing I saw this week, I think. And then the recording that came out with him and her on the phone.
Oh.
That was probably the most. And then he called her a dog on Twitter. Listen, the shit, you can't make this shit up. Like this, United States politics is the most interesting shit. It's like a movie.
No, it is.
You're waiting for the climax, but there's always like a cliffhanger and then another cliffhanger. You're like, my nigga.
It's almost, it goes back and forth for I don't want to say no reason, but at the same time, it's like it's one of those boxing matches where it's like every round is a highlight.
Oh, someone's taking a punch.
Someone's going down and they're getting up at 9. They're getting back up at 9. They don't even go to the 10-piece.
Yeah.
They don't even go to the 10-piece.
Like he called her a dog, which means you really want to call her a bitch.
Yeah, you
really want to call her a bitch.
You really do.
But then the recording was the most interesting part to me. Like, oh no, I can't. They got a big nigga. You're the chief of staff, bro. You know everything that's going on. And then he blocked what's his name, Rich Paul or whatever the guy's name is. He blocked access from the CIA, ex-CIA guys, all the presidents. Like when you start restricting access to stuff, you know something's up. Like, you know what I'm saying? But you're getting caught. Oh, so now my question is this: when the election comes up, are black people gonna vote? Are they gonna vote? And who the hell are we gonna vote for? Because honestly, I ain't heard no candidates
yet.
As of yet, everything's a complaint, but there's no fixing it.
I feel like everyone just holds on to dirt now. Everyone's just like, yeah. Wait till this person gets on this hot seat. I'm gonna bring this out, and I'm gonna get paid. I feel like that's a new wave now. I feel like that's the newest wave with everything, man. I feel like it's not where a lot of people are just scared, but a lot of people, I think they're scared that dirt that they've been hiding under the rug for quite some time, someone's gonna finally dime them out.
Everybody got skeletons in the closet though.
Everybody.
I don't care who you are. You got some skeleton that you are not proud of.
So let me ask you this. So you rather, why not come out and say it? And if it
Yeah. I mean, it's who was it? I think J. Cole said it one time. He was like, "Yo, I'd rather," or even like that 8 Mile theory. When Eminem has that, but I'm gonna tell you everything about me before you can even use it against me.
Yeah, facts.
So I think it's better when you at least come out with it like, "Fuck it, we gonna, yep, I did this, and that. Now what?" So you have no strength.
So I'm gonna hit you with a remix. What about the Hillary situation?
Ooh, shit.
Yikes.
Okay. The Hillary situation is. She fucked up. She should have just came out like, yeah, hell yeah. But she came out too late. It was sneaky.
It was.
It's like one of them things you get caught doing something, and if you came out a little earlier, you would have been straight. They would have been like, all right.
They would have gave you a slap on the wrist.
Yeah, I would have hit you with a slap on the wrist, keep it pumping. But then you got caught, and then you was damage control. It was too late.
It was too late.
So you gotta. I think people need to adhere to that. That's some great advice. Like that movie gives you great advice. Eminem did it best at 8 Mile. Anything you think people will have on you, come out, say that shit. Be like, yes, I don't know what's really fucking random. Some guy has a butt plug. Who gives a shit? Just come out and say it. Get it out the way. Be like,
yep, as well.
Yep.
Tell yourself.
Like, yeah, and what? Like, because I never met somebody that told themselves that I've got in some goddamn trouble like that. Cause then you gotta respect it. Like, what else are you gonna say? It's like, shit. He said what I had. I had this in my back pocket to use against you. But now, you ain't got shit. So what's up? So now let's get to your stuff. Yeah. Let's talk about you, and then that's how you do it. So I think the next candidate, which nobody knows who the fuck is going to be, is gonna have to have that type of power. Be like, yo, nigga, let's get to it.
think
Whatever
so.
dirt
I
you
think
want to
so.
bring up, I'm gonna bring it up first, and then we gonna have this conversation, and we really gonna bring up all the shit you done.
Oh yeah.
And that's how it's gonna do. But then again, black people, don't get it confused. You better find a candidate that fucking is gonna do something for you. Cause yeah, that whole Trump shit is all fucked up and cool, but you can't just go vote for the next nigga that says, yeah, hey guys, I'm with you.
Yeah, no.
Cause that's how you get the old bait and switch, nigga. Like that's a good bait and switch tactic. That's a good art of war move. And I'm like I said, the next person better be ready for all that. Oh, that was the other thing. Zion Williamson, the real deal. What do you think of the kid? Played yesterday, had 29 points.
You know what? My thing is just like, you know what? We'll keep an eye on him. We'll keep an eye on him. I feel like, you know what I mean, athletically, he's definitely a freak of nature.
He's good.
But at the same time, I feel like we just gotta wait. We gotta wait because, you know what I mean? Because there was a lot of great players that were supposed to be great in the NBA that never flourished. And
There was a tier 3 school too. You know, they give you that warm up game.
Yeah.
That play that D1.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
that. So it looks good.
It looked good, but that's what I'm saying.
I
So,
mean,
like,
he did some stuff. He shot the ball well. 3 for 4 from 3 point
At
line.
the same time, you gotta give
Long
respect.
season.
Long season.
Long season.
This is a long. This is.
It's about longevity in this game. Consistency. So you're going based off the consistency.
That's it. That's all I'm looking.
He's a big kid.
He's a big boy.
285, 6'7", can jump. He had a block. I'm telling you, that shit was. I don't care what no one said. That wasn't a goaltender. It wasn't a goaltender. I don't care. That shit was. The nigga touched the top of the backboard. Okay. The fact that you can jump that quick, that fast. I mean, we ain't seen nothing like that since LeBron. But LeBron was more finesse. This kid's all power. This kid reminds me like a Sean Kemp. Like, he's just strong. He's dunking everything angry.
So he's like Limbias?
No. No. I'm telling you, the closest thing I see is Sean Kemp. I'm gonna be honest. But like seeing him play, that was impressive. I'm gonna give that kid some credit.
I give him credit.
I think him shooting the ball 3 for 4 was dope too. Like everybody was like, he can't shoot, he can't. Nah, nigga can shoot, man. The nigga can rebound. The boy got bounced. We know he can dunk. We know he can dunk. He can block the ball. We knew.
We'll put a little star next to it.
If he stays healthy, he's a problem.
We'll put a star next to it.
But then again, he got the number 1 recruit next to him. He's like number 3, number 5's next to him, number 10. Like they got like an all-star line. They got the Warriors of high school basically. They took everything and Mike Krzyzewski was like, come on guys, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Your family's fine.
He's going to the league. All those guys are going to the league.
Oh.
I don't like Duke. I've always been against. I'm not a Duke guy. I've been very anti-Duke.
I love Duke.
You like Duke? Yeah.
I love him.
Yeah.
What you got?
Social media events.
Trending.
You want to chip off?
Trending? You know what? I got you. I'll start this up.
There's a couple things.
Is it,
Let's get it going. What you got?
So, in recent news, there was a recent tweet.
Mm-hmm.
Idris Elba.
Uh-huh.
Do you think it's possible for Idris Elba to be the next Bond? When I first initially seen it, like Idris Elba possibly being the next 007, the next Bond. I love him. Great actor. I love all the work that he's done. I just can't see him being the next Bond. I don't know. It's just weird to me. It's weird. I feel like they kind of gotta mold that in and kind of integrate it into another Bond where they're kind of introducing this new Bond, kind of like what they did with the Bourne Ultimatum. Like they tried that little sneaky shit with I forget this dude.
The dude from Avengers. The Arrow. Yeah.
The Arrow guy. They tried it. That was horrible. So they tried to do that shit with Jason with Bourne. That was garbage. Yeah. Because they didn't really storyline it. They didn't really get through there. Like, but my thing is just like, Do you really? Could you see Idris Elba being the next James Bond?
Okay. Thank you. I took my shot. I knew I was gonna argue with you anyway. Idris Elba as Bond. I don't know. Right? I'm torn. We've always seen Bond as a white guy.
Yeah.
A white British gentleman. But we're in the era of change. And being black and a woman right now is the shit. Let's call it what it is. This is perfect. I think it'll introduce a new element.
It will.
It'll give some spice to it. But I also didn't like... No, I can't say that. I do like the current Bond kind of because he's more gangster than the old Bonds. Like, this nigga was shooting niggas and killing people and shit. Daniel Craig, I like him. Daniel Craig. And he was kind of thrown into it, which was kind of interesting to me. Idris Elba's a very polished actor. And I think he deserves this type of role at this point. He's played so many different roles that I could see him as Bond, but it'll be an adjustment. It would be an adjustment. I think it's duly noted that, one, he's British, so it works out, right? The British aspect, he has sex appeal. Women love him. You know what I'm saying? He has that. Yeah, women really do love him since The Wire, since all that. Women have fallen in love with him more and more. So I think he could do it. I just think it's also on the director. The director has to do this right. It can't be. This isn't one of those fuck ups we can allow. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a good director because the Bonds are very specific. They're very specific in their storyline and how they're credited and what they look for in everything in the action. So I think one, he'll have to be into good shape. One, and two, it all really falls on the director because the actor can do but so much. But if the direction isn't correct, the movie's over. So yeah, I could see him as Bond, and I think it's his time. I think it's finally his time. If not, you know who I like? The kid from Snowfall. I don't know if you know him.
Bro.
I like that kid. That kid is the next up and coming thing, and he's British, but he speaks with that California accent. That kid is the next up and coming thing. I don't think he can be Bond, but
you know what?
He can go.
I was thinking Snowden. I don't know why I was thinking Snowden.
No, yeah, Snowfall.
No, Snowfall.
Snowfall. Yeah. That kid, the one that's playing Franklin, Dreaded. That kid is the next up and coming. And if not him, I don't like the kid from Star Wars, that black kid from Star Wars. I didn't like him.
But my thing is just like,
I don't like him either.
Can you do this for 4? Like, I feel like that's a standard.
I don't know. Like you got to see how the first one rolls though. The storyline has to roll right. Cause I feel like the story was gonna be something in Africa.
Has to.
You know what I'm saying? Cause to include black people, I feel like it's gonna be something in Africa, right? Some diamond shit. That would kind of make sense.
I don't know if I could do the Blood Diamond stuff.
Again, you know what I'm saying? Because Leo DiCaprio and Blood Diamond, that made me uncomfortable. I'm gonna shoot you straight. I'm gonna shoot you straight. It was a good movie, but you know, Africa, black people. I don't know. But now being black, I think Idris is gonna get his shot. It's just when.
I hope
this has been going on for a while.
But it's not like Idris Elba has not been given good roles. Like he's been, you know what I mean?
He picks great roles.
Avengers,
great role for him. I think that.
Well, I don't say he's Avengers. He's in Thor.
But that played out. He played out a couple of movies of that.
No, he got killed off. He was like, I'm not doing that no more.
He got killed off in Avengers, but not in Thor. That took time. But he did 1, 2, 3, 4 movies.
He did.
So that was a good role for him.
The other one was,
people had a problem with that shit too.
The Shooter. What's that one?
Shooter.
It was like he was protecting a kid, or the kid was trying to look for him. It was recently.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. And he had the show Luther. Luther was a dope show.
No,
Luther's a dope show. That was a dope show. If you get to watch it, it was on Netflix for a while. I don't know if it's on
Luther
anymore.
was a nice little show.
But the Wire is what blew him up. The Wire is what blew him up.
He was in Pacific Rim.
And I didn't even like those movies that much, but his character was a good fit. See, I think 95% of it is the actor picking the right role.
The Dark Tower.
Oh yeah, that was kind of weird. It was weird. I liked it, but I didn't like it. I watched it. I did watch it on a Friday night at home. It was cool.
I watched it at the same time. I was like this. You know what? I'm gonna watch.
Where was you?
All right, so say for instance, you're out in public, you're at a venue, you're at a show, whatever the case is, whatever. I don't care. If you're out in public, you're interacting with somebody, and that person you want to continue that interaction with.
Yep.
And now you proceed and say, hey, can I get your number? And instead of them saying no, well, I prefer us to become friends on social media. Now, what do you think is more personal? You think that the number being more personal, or that social media platform being more personal? Because I feel like they're going backwards. I don't know if you know what I mean, if that makes sense to you. I feel like it's going backwards in terms of anything. Like, I feel like a lot of times people will give out their social media as if like this is the most safest way. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I get the whole like, oh, I don't want you to hit me up because I don't want you to be a creep and all this extra stuff. But at the same time, I'm looking at it like, yo, you're kind of opening the door to your whole life.
Okay, my theory on that is the number's more personal, right? Because that's direct.
Okay, that's fine.
Way more direct. The social media thing is kind of like anybody can hit you up on that.
Anybody.
And you're right. You can kind of see everything. I mean,
I
think if and this is no shade to any woman on social media. I think if a woman doesn't want a man to get the wrong perception of her, you should give him your number.
Yeah,
absolutely, because it's more personal. One, I'm not gonna look at your social media because listen, let me tell you the first thing men do. We look at social media. How many followers you got? Okay, all right. Here's what you're here for. So that would be my take on it. I mean, I don't know, because it's one of those things like you gotta look at it. If you give out your number, you're clearly interested in the individual, right? I'm assuming. I don't know. Women, please comment below. I think they're more interested in you. They want to hear from you personally. Like, reach out to me, text me, blah, 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 blah. If you give me your social media, it's kind of like a nice way of saying, no, thank you, but thank you. Because if a man goes and searches your social media, or you
I feel like it's a tease, bro. I feel
like
you're teasing that person. I feel like you're teasing that person to become a crush.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, my thing is like this.
I agree. I can agree on that. Yeah, a crush. Yeah.
You
like
know what I mean?
Another person of this realm.
You know what I mean? I feel like, when you're giving out your social media or anything like that, I wouldn't personally just be like, yo, listen, like, I'd rather give you my number and not pick up or not talk to you or whatever the case is and be like, whatever, rather than give you the lane and pathway into my personal life.
I don't know, because you can curve them harder. You could curve harder on social media. You'd be like, oh, no, you don't have to answer. You don't have to answer. Especially if your shit's private. If your shit's private. But if a woman's private, she don't gotta answer shit.
But she control you.
Well, what if she's private?
Unless you block her.
What if she's private?
No. What if she is private?
So then you don't have access. You have to request, like, right? You gotta request. You have to be accepted. Unless you have a chick right there, like, yo, hey, this is me, accept it. How many people gonna do that? Are you really gonna sit there and be like, hey, baby girl, accept it?
No, I could dig that. But I feel like you're either overselling yourself or underselling yourself. You don't feel like that? Like, if you give someone your social media, you're underselling or you're overselling? Because I feel like...
In regards to what?
In regards to now that person, like, all right, let me see what this person's about. Scroll.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, I feel like you're just opening the whole thing like, oh, so... What the? I never told you that. You know what I mean?
If the booking info's in there,
Oh, stop.
That's it. You got
the booking info. I feel like it skips that whole first date conversations now, because now you're not even asking intuitive questions. You're asking questions about your social media. Oh, so I seen that.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? I feel like it opens that box, and I feel like it's a box where you're like, yeah, that was thing, and it's kind of like now you're talking about your page.
You're not talking about yourself. You're not giving me your whole who you are.
But you're not. But it's nothing new, because now guess what? You already know.
Because people are two different people, right? Social media and who you are in real life are two different people. I don't give a shit what no one says.
Facts. No, these are super facts. But at the same time, when you're looking at someone's social media, automatically you got the 411 on this mother.
Okay, here's my real question: are you judging them off the social media?
I'm not judging them, but I already know what I'm working with. So it's kind of like you already equipping yourself to a fight.
Okay, let's have two different scenarios. A girl who posts pictures of her kids, of her work, for whatever, maybe a couple club nights. Then you got the other girl who has no kids. Posts the, I don't want to say erotic pic, but the, the casual turnaround pic, the pointed toe pic, the other
poking
pic.
of the butt.
Yeah, the poking of the butt pic. Which one are you going with?
It depends on what. It depends on your current time in your life. I feel like it depends. I feel like it honestly depends on like your current space.
Okay,
in life.
so let's take out current space. Just in general, you see they're both attractive. So we know they're both attractive. Right?
Yeah.
Fine. One has a kid, one doesn't. Who you picking off of just that?
Well,
I'm gonna pick the chick with the kid. I'm gonna pick the chick with the kid. But I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay, no, I understand. No, I understand why. I'm gonna answer why you're gonna pick the kid with the chick with the kid.
Okay.
Because she's a mother. One,
Okay.
not only she's a mother, she has to provide for somebody else. So she understands the whole notion of, listen, I have to be a provider.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not about me. It's about the little one.
Yep.
I understand that.
Okay.
And it's great to have that trait because now that could transition into a relationship. So it's like, oh, I could provide for my significant other.
There you go.
And that's true. And I understand that.
So we can agree on that.
Okay, we agree on that. However, now it determines on like, now what if you're not, what if you don't like kids?
That's true too.
What if you don't like kids? You're gonna go.
What if you want your own kids?
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying though. So like my thing is, it depends on the person and the time of life that you're at.
So what time of life would you say you're at? Because like I think between the ages of 26 and 30, that's where you're gonna catch more women with kids.
Yeah, facts.
Even I'll say 25 and 30. Let's say that 5-year gap.
Yeah.
Prior to that, and then after that, you kind of it depends. Like she's kind of more of the having fun.
Yeah,
she has no kids. She's like all partying, and that's great. But I mean, like I said, it just depends on what you're looking for.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right.
I think you have a solid point with it. That's no, we can agree on that. Yeah, it depends on where you're at in your life. Cause some people are like, yo, I like to be home on a fucking Friday night for some fucking Ben and Jerry's watching Netflix. You get what I'm saying? And then there's some guys who I know, 28, 29, 30, 34, that still like to go to the club.
Oh yeah.
And still like to have that fun, and it's like, So I think it depends on where you are at in your life. But I don't know. Like you said, what's more personal? I'm gonna say the phone number. I personally think the phone number is more personal because now we have a direct connection. I ain't doing all that direct. I ain't doing that DM shit. I'm not with that. I'm sorry. That's like everybody can do that, right? You're gonna get. I bet if you went through a woman's phone that you dated right now, any man, go through a woman's phone right now, go through her DM, you'll find at least 4 or 5.
No, you will.
Easily.
You will. You're more than willing to find things, but at the same time, I just feel like, you know what I mean? I feel like if I invite you into that social media world, like my life is out there. Like, you know what? Like, I feel like, you know what I mean? And that's how I just look at it.
But like we said, people have 2 different lives, social media, like
Factos.
So it could be a bunch of bullshit too. It could be a bunch of bullshit, but it could be some real shit too. Because there's, where there's jokes, there's, real shit said as well.
Oh no, you're absolutely right. Salute to that.
Ooh, I got social media. Hold on. Listen, let me tell you. There has been quite some interesting situations.
Interesting? Like,
interesting, weird. I don't know how to feel. So Nicki Minaj's album has been a big thing.
okay.
Her and Safari have been going through some fighting again.
Nice.
This is that weird. We dated for years. We still got some feelings. We got some beef. She was airing them out, talking all this shit. She was calling out rappers and songs.
Mm-hmm.
She also went on Funk Flex's show and talked a little bit of shit. Talking about Meek Mill a little bit. So I asked this question, I guess. What the fuck is she trying to prove? Is she promoting the album, or is she really being sincere about the things she's talking about, right? Also, then you see, like, she brought up, rappers and all this shit. She said, she took the song, she took Biggie's beat, I'm just playing, you know what I'm saying? As I sit back, relax, drink it, you know what I'm saying? She took that beat, rapped about a bunch of rappers, Said she got the idea from 50 Cent's How to Rob. So Flex was asking her a couple questions like, yo, what's the beef? And she went on this whole tangent talking about people, you know, how you gonna say I took care of you, you cheat on me, you pay for prostitutes, all this shit. All this crazy stuff. And I feel like I listened to the album. The album was pretty good. Pretty solid. I'm gonna give it like a 7, 6.5, 7 out of 10.
Okay.
I'm not a big Nicki Minaj fan. Barbers, don't kill me. Please don't. I just feel like her time has passed. You know what I'm saying? But then after the interview the next day, Funk Flex goes on this tangent talking about how artists pay DJs to play their records, which we all have known. When we talk about Cardi B and all this stuff. So I guess my real question is like, is this promo or is this actually like sincere conversation? Like, how is that being received by people? Because the album's good. She doesn't need a lot.
I think this is promo. Like, you know what I mean? I you know, Safari said some things. She said some things. But at the same time, you know what I mean? I feel like whatever marketing, good marketing, bad marketing, is still marketing. You know what I mean? Like, bad publicity, good publicity. Like, you know what I mean?
So you're a believer of that? Anything is promo.
Anything is a promo. You know what I mean? I do believe that. You know what I mean? Everybody's forced their opinion on certain things, but it forces now that opinionator to actually go and do research. So now you're buying the album. Now you're sitting there streaming. You're doing all this extra stuff to find out more information to make your clarified judgment on that current situation.
Do you think she's taking the Tekashi route, the 6ix9ine route?
No, I don't think she's taking a 6ix9ine route. I feel like everybody does that. You know what I mean? There's a little drama like brewing every time when someone's like album comes out. Same thing with Kanye. You know what I mean? That whole slavery thing and it was your choice and all that stuff. So like, you know, I feel like everybody has their own style.
We gotta get him the fuck up out of here.
I fuck with
we gotta get him the fuck up out of here.
I fuck with Ecstasy though.
We gotta get him the fuck up out of here. Actually, say he masturbates to his sisters-in-laws.
Come on.
This is creepy. Come on, no. And every joke, there's some truth.
Jesus Christ.
And every joke, there's some truth. Let's keep it 1,000 on that.
Don't do that to Ye, man.
But
I like the kid.
I don't know how we can support the guy anymore.
No, but you know, like not to lose subject on Nicki. Nicki, I feel like, you know, to answer your thing about, I don't think she's ran her course, but she's finally met a foe. You know what I mean? I feel like Cardi B is a great person that applies pressure on her because, you know, in reality, like, you know, Nicki was running the game for quite some time.
Oh yeah, she got in
the hip hop aspect. You know what I mean? Beyonce was doing her thing. They wasn't in the same realm, and there was nobody else.
But R&B was Beyonce and rap was Nicki. But you know,
and that's what it was though. And you know what I mean? There was, and, you know, granted, every time has its like, you know, clashes and duels and all that stuff. And I feel like, you know, this is a great duo too, you know what I mean? Because they both have sex appeal. They both, you know what I mean, all that extra stuff. But, you know,
one became a mom way before the time.
Yeah, one became a mom.
I know Atlantic is mad about that shit.
Oh, I know, they definitely are. But at the same time, you know what I mean? It's one of those things where I feel like I said, like, you know, this is that, you know what I mean? This is that
turning point.
Yeah, like this is that clash, you know. This is that Queen Latifah. This is that Missy Elliott, and like this is that.
How long you give her? How long do you give Nicki in the rap game? How many years?
I give her 2. I give her 2 more.
So I was gonna say about 2 to 3. I say 2 to 3.
I give her 2 more.
2 3 before someone new comes and
because you know.
She had bad. So her record sales were like, I think like 100 and something thousand, 110,000. It wasn't like a lot.
No, it wasn't.
It was one of her
because you know
worst opening weeks.
Because you know what it is with Nicki. Nicki, I feel like she needs to settle down. She needs to get into a relationship with somebody.
Again?
No, I feel like she needs to be in a relationship that drives her in that right direction.
Something that has substance, you mean?
Something that has substance. Okay. Something that you're sitting there like, yo, nah. I'm with him. And it can be a scram, it can be whatever the case is, but at the same time, like, you're in that relationship because you know why? Because then your music becomes better because you're not stressed. Like, I feel like, you know what I mean, a lot of this is just a lot of anger, a lot of force stuff. You know what I mean? Because, you know what I mean? So it's just like a lot of stuff that, you know what I mean, she's just been holding on to. You know what I mean?
So it's repressed anger, like she just let it all out at once now.
Like,
Like she wanted to say this, but now she's like, I can let it all out. Fuck it, I'm angry. I'm gonna let all y'all know what I've been feeling all these times.
And that's what it is. That's what it is.
But I don't think we never heard Nicki like this. This is like one of those situations where it's like, and once again, I don't respect any man. First, I'm not a Funk Flex fan. I haven't been a Funk Flex fan in years. I don't respect any man that will have that tough guy energy when the woman is not around. First off, you shouldn't be a tough guy with women because you look stupid in the end of the day. But, like, he says all this shit about Nicki, then he apologizes. Then he says all this shit about Cardi. So when she comes up, now he's going to have to apologize again.
I feel like he's just doing his job.
I think Hot 97 as a station has just deteriorated.
I feel like you gotta work with your ratings. You gotta cause a beef.
We gotta get him the fuck up out of here. I mean, Funk Flex is not really like a good DJ. He's not. He used to be.
Anymore.
You know what I'm saying? And I think it's that new wave of DJs. We gotta give them an opportunity. But like the shit is, it's so much shit at this point with Funk Flex that it's kind of annoying. I'm gonna be honest. It's really annoying. But either way, I mean, Nicki, great album. You did a good job. You don't have to do what you're doing to promote it. I think it's a good album so far. Like I said, 6.5, 7 out of 10, which is 70%, which is passing as far as I'm concerned. That's 70%.
No, you ain't right.
Yeah, man. What we got?
What we got? I don't know. Should you keep it 100 with whoever is engaging in any type of relationship with you? So in other words, like
Friendship, relationship, business
so
partnership.
in other words, like, what do you need? Like, what do you need in order for this to work out? Like, I feel like...
Are we talking relationship or just in general?
You know what? Fuck it. You know, I was talking relationship-wise, but, you know, we can make this in general. Like, I feel like a lot of people sugarcoat. I feel like a lot of people beat around the bush. I feel like people go...
But why?
And that's
why?
But
That's the question you gotta ask.
Because I feel like people do that because feelings.
Are we so desensitized now?
I feel like we're more judgmental. Like, because now it's just kind of like, oh, that's what you want.
You have to be more careful.
But you keep it in a buck.
You have to be more careful now, though. Remember, people will judge you very quickly.
No, people are quick, and that's what I'm saying. You can't judge whatever. I don't care, man. You ain't got a gavel. You don't got a gavel.
Then again, wait a minute. You can't say that because women are coming out saying rape. Yeah. There are different situations where there's like, you know, oh, okay, here's one. Here's a perfect example. The Usher situation. There's a gay gentleman saying that Usher's gay. He gave him herpes. Now, keeping it a buck, right? Like you're saying, is it fair that they're trying to make Usher come out if he is gay? We don't know. Once again, we do not know any of these things. We don't know. Even if it was to keep it a buck, is it fair that he has to come out like that if he didn't want to come out?
No.
So now my question then is, okay, so is keeping it a buck as important as people think? Like, it's great to be honest. We can admit that. People say they want honesty, but do they really want honesty?
No.
Okay.
They want that sugarcoat shit.
Okay. Exactly.
They want that pussyfooting around. They want that, oh, well, I really didn't mean it. Or I really, no, I don't know. Or
I'm not sure how this is going to go.
Yeah.
So why do people say, oh, just be honest with me? Just be honest with me.
I feel like that's bullshit.
It's cop out.
You know what I mean? I feel like that's one of those things where they don't want you to keep it honest. They don't want you to be honest with them. I feel like people don't want you to be honest with them, but they're leaving that on the table so you can. Like, I don't feel like they want you to be honest with you. Like, you know what I mean? Because you know why? Because I do feel like after when you're honest with somebody or certain people, it will change the perception of you. You know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those things where it's just like, yo, like, it's almost in every situation where people people do change their perception after when they find out the truth. Like, you know what I mean?
It's like one of those things like, just tell me the truth, just tell me the truth, just tell me the truth, and then you tell the truth, and then it's like, really?
That perception.
I think it's.
I feel like it changes the perception. It does.
But you can't like it's one of those things you can't ask for the truth. Do you want a pretty lie or the ugly truth? And I think, as a whole, we say we want the truth. You know, no, I don't think nobody really wants the truth. I don't think I even want the truth sometimes because it's like fuck, it's harder to swallow, right? You're like,
because it's always in the back of your head.
It's always in the back of your head. So now if it's true, you're like, fuck. Like, damn, I'm an idiot.
And that's what it comes down to.
And I think you're right. It is perception. People will kind of run their course with it. Because it's like, okay, here's a prime example. If I say if we're joking around, me and you, you're broke. Fuck you, you're broke. Ha 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 ha, right? That's just between me and you. Now, let me go say it online. You're going to feel a little different about it, correct?
Facts.
Because now everybody can see the whole broad scope, right? Everybody's now involved. If it was between me and you and it's a joke, that's different. But now that everybody's involved, and even if you aren't or are, it's the fact that now the perception is now surrounding you. And that's what I think is not fair.
It forces your hand
to prove it now. Now you gotta prove it. I'm not fucking broke. I can fucking buy 6 tigers.
Yeah.
Like I don't know 6 tigers.
I don't know why would you buy it, but like you know, no, but that's what I'm saying. So my thing is, it's like I feel like a lot of people should keep it a buck. Like even with like a lot of females, like like I feel like the female interaction nowadays, like it's so like I'm not gonna fuck with you unless you have X, Y, Z. You know what I mean? I feel like
that's interesting.
It is very interesting because you know what it is. It's kind of like
you have to have your stars online.
You have to have their stars in line.
Okay, it's not yours. It's
not yours. Their stars in line.
So name some of the stars that have to be in line.
Financial.
Okay.
Successful.
Okay. Spiritual. I've heard that one before. Emotional. You gotta check your emotion. We gotta be emotional.
I feel like you know what I mean. And no disrespect to ladies, I feel like they bite off more than they could chew because the thing is, it's just that they hold these like I need this and this standards. And this and this for a man, but
what are you holding yourself?
They don't have this.
So it's more about accountability at this point now.
And that's what it comes down to. Okay. It's like, yo, you want this, all this stuff. My man has to have this and this and this and that. But like,
what do you bring to the table?
What do you have?
Okay.
What do you have?
Okay. No, that's fair.
What are you bringing?
I think that's a fair.
What are you bringing to the party?
That is a fair question to ask anybody. Like, what do you bring to the table, right? Because everybody says they want certain things. Like, I mean, we're men. And as men, we can admit that. We say we want an independent woman that has a strong career, has a strong...
Facts.
Well, let us get that motherfucker. That shit might change the niggas' idea. You be like, oh shit, hold on.
And that's what I'm saying.
But that's when, I think it's like a team, right? It's a team sport. We gotta know, baby, you play your role, I play my role, we gonna win this motherfucking championship.
That's it.
That's what it comes down to now. But it's also ego-driven. We're men, we're very ego-driven, which I admit as a man. And it's like we gotta check that part, right? Women, they have to check that whole. It's like they're checking boxes,
and that's what it comes down to.
I think that's not fair because if a man did that, it's not fair.
It's not fair.
It's not fair. It's not fair to anybody. I don't think anybody should check any box. I think you should let the relationship run its course. You have to let it run its course because there's gonna be bumps, bruises, all step in his life that can take to the next step. And the majority of people don't. I think women forget this part too. Men, we don't do it for us. We do it for you. Right?
Facts.
We get haircuts for women. We get dress fly for women. We buy nice cars for women. We buy a house for women because it's that whole what's the correct word to use? Provide. It's that whole providing theory that men we naturally have it in our DNA. It's just natural. It's not anything we can really turn the fuck off. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we really can't. So I think you really have to check. I think women and men, you gotta check your ego. Really, it's hard to check your ego. Trust me, I'm not a big fucking ego. It's hard to check that ego, but you have to in order for it to even work. Because then that's when you get into the girl who dates the drug dealer. That never works out. That never fucking works out. And I got a bunch of niggas that try. Listen, that shit never fucking works out for you women. I don't give a fuck what you say. You can go to as many nice dinners as you want. Once you catch a charge, that shit is done.
That's it.
That's over. So. Like you said, the social and the psychological there has to be some type of point where you meet. And that age now, like 30s, when you're in your 30s, oh lord,
Gotta cut this shit out, bro.
oh lord, this shit just has to stop. The bullshit's got to stop. If she's still partying and doing all this shit, get rid of her.
Get rid of her, bro.
Get rid of her because she clearly likes the fast money. Just don't even waste your time, bro. It's not even worth it. Let me pull myself through. Anything else we have to talk
That's
about?
it. You know what I mean? This is real shit. This is real shit.
I think it's just it's tough.
It's tough. It's tough nowadays in age. Like it's tough. Like it really is tough. Like I feel for a lot of these single guys out there, man. You know what I mean? Like I feel for them. Like,
Oh, question. Serious question. If a woman can't cook, does that knock her down? I just wanted to ask that question before I got off the topic.
Real quick.
Cause I can cook.
I can cook too.
We know we can cook. So if a woman can't cook, does that knock her down? Should I look at her and like, huh?
Yes and no. You know what I mean? Like I do believe in like equally a female could be as busy as a male.
Agree.
She could have a fast paced moving job.
Yep.
However, depending on what her job entails, it will determine her lifestyle and her. You know what? I would be disappointed. I would not be disappointed if she couldn't cook her 2 favorite dishes.
So a girl can cook breakfast, you give her credit.
No.
Okay.
No, breakfast is not
Breakfast
a
is
dish.
not considered a real dish.
Breakfast, hot dogs. There's certain things. Breakfast, hot dogs, eggs, peanut butter and jelly. Like all those shits you can't put in. Like
So we're
it
talking
has
like
to be
a
a meal.
real
It has to be a meal. Like 2 meals that you love to make. No Kraft mac and cheese. Like you know what I mean. None of that shit. 2 meals that you like to make. If you can't make for someone else, like I'm disappointed. Like because I feel like at least you should know how to make.
So that should knock the stock down.
Yes, if you don't know how to make your 2 favorite meals, your personal 2 favorite meals.
Now it's not as damaging to a man because women don't expect men to be able to cook.
Fact.
But the stock should go up if a man can't cook, correct? Is that where we're
Definitely.
Is that what we're agreeing on? Okay. So if a man can cook and a woman can't cook, it should knock the stock down for the woman, but not so much for the man because it's more that provide. All right. They say a woman makes a home, right? Some shit like that. So women make a home. A man could get a house, but a woman makes a home and all that shit. So but if she can't cook,
she can't cook. Fuck it.
It is one of those situations. It is what it is. But hey, you know what? To each his own. You want to eat out all the time. It's up to you. Is there anything else you have to talk about?
Why is that shit so strong?
Woo! It's the good stuff.
Oh my god, that's some good stuff. Listen, man, I want to thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Opinions and Consequences.
Hit the subscribe button.
Hit the subscribe, like, tell a friend, tell a friend. We tell you this every week. Leave your description below.
Anything you want to comment on?
Any good, bad, ugly, man. We'll
take it.
We'll take it. Take it with arms. Take it with arms. Listen, man. Till next time. Salutations on AJ McLaughlin.
Clinton E. Martinez.
Signing. Oh.
See you on episode 12.
Hey.